Hi, it's Ken again, going through my music collection. And so I'm doing something slightly different today. I saw a video on the Steve Whitty YouTube channel, which I really liked. He looked at his top 10 from 1974. So I'm shamelessly pinching the idea. Doing it slightly differently. This is not my thoughts of the critique of the 10 best albums of. So this is favorites to me. This is songs that influenced me or I liked and played a lot during that. So it's not meant to be a top 10 in the sense of 1 to 10. And so we're going in sort of through the year as they were released. And we're kicking off, further ado, kicking off with Deep Purple Burn. Good cover there with the candles and stuff, very imaginative. This album's got David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes on. So I don't know if it's Mark 3 or Mark 4, not sure to keep up with all them, to be honest. It's got some fabulous tracks on it, and there's Mistreated, Burn, and Might Just Take Your Life, are three of my favourites on there. I wasn't sure about Ian Gillan going and losing Roger Glover. But Glenn Hughes is a rock god, isn't he, now? And so is David Coverdale. So, they were quite impressive replacements. As the back. So I wasn't disappointed, and I still listen to quite a lot. So this is, as I said, these are albums I bought. I was 16 at the time, so I was just getting enough money. My first job, buying, believe it or not, 2 albums a week at the time, or at least one a week. On a good week, 2 weeks if we get paid a bit more on bonuses and stuff. This is one I bought at the time, I think. Yeah. Excuse me, Burn. So we're on to the second one, which is the first entry. They've got 2 entries in 1974 for me. This is Queen 2. This is quite a progressive album. It's the first mate turned me on to this. He said, have a listen to this, so I had to go out and buy it the next day. It's got the very iconic sleeve with the 4 lads there, and I think it was used in the Bohemian Rhapsody video, this pose. You can see it's, I won't open it up, not yet, it's a bit more about discussing the records today. 7 Seas of Rise on You and the Fairy Fellas Master Stroke. As I said, it's quite, I think, a progressive rock type album, which was at the time, again, harking back to Deep Purple, when you went to record stores in those days, the genres, there weren't that many. Perhaps there's reggae, pop, and one of them was progressive rock, and Queen and Deep Purple were definitely in the progressive rock in the shop I went to, you know what I mean? Nobody knew what progressive rock was, just music didn't fit anywhere else, like from, I knew a lot of the heavy metal bands and stuff started out, Uriah Heeps and Led Zeppelin to be in the progressive rock sort of slots. So there you go, that's Queen 2, that's a firm favourite. Third up is might be a shock to some people. This is Back When Turn Over Died, Not Fragile. The single You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet was released in the year, and I was enamoured by it, and I went out and bought the album, and I wasn't disappointed. It's quite, as it suggests, not fragile. It's quite, and I love the cover. It's a very hard rocking album. The first side is Not Fragile, Rock Is My Life, and This Is My Song, Roll On Down the Highway, and You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. And that's a pretty good side in my books. There's not a dud there, and the second side opens up with Sledgehammer. It was one of the heaviest songs I've ever heard. So I think they came out with the Roots from the Ashes of a band called Guess Who. If I'm wrong, someone put it in the comments. As I always say, all comments are gratefully accepted, bad or good. Opinions are respected. And it's quite a hard rocking album. So there's the back with this Canadian band. Back When Turn Overdrive, Not Fragile. So that's 3 in, early in the year now. Next up, they released this in 74 the albums I've put in some sort of top 10 of my favourites, is Elo El Dorado, a symphony by it says El Dorado symphony by the Electric Light Orchestra. Tracks on here include Get Out of My Head, Can't Get You Out of My Head, sorry, Boy Blue, there's a sweet of music, El Dorado Overture, El Dorado and El Dorado Final, which closes the album. Mr. Kingdom's on here. Nobody's Child, Illusion in G major. As you can see, here's Allusions to Red Shoes ballet. And there you go with sort of a bit of Wizard of Oz going on there, I think, as well. Great covers, as they were back in the day. It's part of the attraction was, even if you'd never heard of the band, sometimes you could be tempted by the sheer cover, which is the old idea, I guess. But there you go. That's the fourth one in my top 10 favourites. I did have I've got a sort of near misses, things like Diamond Dogs with David Bowie, Secret Treaties by Blue Oyster Cult, Holding the Mountain Grill, I think, hoping were potential albums that come into this top 10. And at number 5, I think, is the fifth release of the year. It's not in any order. It's apart from what time of the year it was released, King Crimson's Red. This is a stunning album. This sort of moved my taste in music slightly, a bit more avant-garde side of stuff. King Crimson can do that to you. They're acquired taste. They are very Marmite. But this is they only own 3 albums I've done. I think this the first album the Court Crimson came. This one in a compilation, The Young Person's Guide. On the cover is Bill Bruford, John Wetton, and Robert Fripp, 3 maestros in themselves. I love John Wetton. He's been in some of my favourite bands. He's a second musician with Roxy Music. He was in Asia. He was the voice of Asia. This Robert Fripp, a genius by any means. And they're still making astounding music on their tours and stuff. It's got Red and got a fantastic Starless, which I can remember sitting in my bedroom with the lights off and the headphones on and immersing myself into that track and playing it more than once at a time, just lifting the needle up and playing it again, because it was astounding to me at the time after some of the music I've been listening to. And it was because of this album, as I said, turned me on more avant-garde stuff later on in my life. Another favourite of that year for me was the Rolling Stones. And I think critics at the time and some fans dismissed this as a poorish sort of album. They look back at it now, it's stuffed full of great tracks. Finger Eight File, It's Only Rock and Roll Itself. If You Can't Rock Me, I think it's a good album. This is a re-release. This is a half remaster release last couple of years ago, which I bought the place the scratch version I had. For playing purposes. And there you go. This is at the time Rolling Stones were quite influential in picking artists and stuff for the covers. Andy Warhol did Sticky Fingers, and a few other people have done covers for them. And it was again polarizing. I think people thought, well, it's a cartoon on the front. It's more than that, I think, though. But I'm not sure. The cover's not what sells it with this. It's the tracks with this one. It's a fantastic Rolling Stones album as far as I'm concerned. Moving on now to the second Queen one. One of the top ones for me, Sheer Heart Attack. Again, a great cover. As I said earlier, this was probably under progressive rock in the genre in the record shop I went to in Newport, South Wales. And this has got a fabulous lineup: Brighton Rock, A Real Rocker, 2 great singles, Killer Queen and Now I'm Here. I remember watching Queen on Top of the Pops that year with Killer Queen, Freddie camping up and being very it's camp and quite heavy rock on a pop program was quite a sight to behold. I can assure you. In the Lap of the Gods, Dear Friends, Misfire, Stone Cold Crazy is another good rocker. She Makes Me, Bring Back That Leroy Brown, and a bit of the vaudeville sort of stuff creeping in as well, and that's really good. That's Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. Excuse me, wet my whistle. Right, we're on to Roxy Music now. This ties with my depending on the mood with me, Roxy Music, they got, as far as I think, like the first album, For Your Pleasure is probably my all-time favourite. Then it's a tie between Stranded and this one for me. Stranded, because song, For Europe's on there, it's my favourite song for them. But this as a whole album is really playable. Even now I play it quite often. it's got a single, All I Want Is You on it, and Out of the Blues on it, and The Thrill of It All, Prairie Rose, If It Takes All Night. I do think that Eddie Jobson's on here, so no Eno around. This is the fourth album, I think, so it's the second album they've done without Eno. But another genius, Eddie Jobson's on here, filling in all with weird sounds and stuff. And it's not, if you haven't heard it, it's an album worth a listen. It's a good entry point for rock music. It's a third, as I said, fourth album before they moved on to other sort of sounds. At the time, the album's quite controversial. In some countries, I think they just released it with that cover with the logo on it and everything. Two German girls I recruited or just were passing by or something, dragged into the studio and had a picture taken as they appeal to Brian Ferry's aesthetics, I think. There you go. So that's Roxy Music, Country Life. Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Some people say it's the masterpiece. I'm not quite so sure about it. It is an astounding album, no doubt. But it's not my favourite Genesis album. Probably not my second favourite. It might be my third or fourth. But at the time, it was one of those things, a double album with the concepts all over the place and great sleeve. Touring it was a nightmare for the band. And of course, it was Peter Gabriel's last album with them. And I think he felt he'd achieved all he could do, and then went on to have a fabulous solo career. So he was right, I guess. So that's Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Very important to my listening taste, I think, at the time. It's not something I listen to frequently, but I do pull it out every now and again. So that's Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. And finally, as I said, this is favourites of the year 1974 for me. I'm hoping to catch up with 72, 73 and 71 in future months. I'm going to test the water with this, see if anyone watches it. This is Slade in Flame. This is a re-release. This is on splatter vinyl. I think I lent my original to somebody. I never got it back in the mid-80s. So there you go. So that's what you do. Music is like a book to me. You give it away freely because it should be appreciated by anybody. So this got two great songs on it. How Does It Feel and Far, Far Away. How Does It Feel is the best, best Slade song as far as I'm concerned. They got some cracking singles on there. It's a different type of song. There's the back. The movie is well worth a watch. Someone did quote it as a Citizen Kane of rock movies. I'm not sure about that, but it is a brilliant movie. And I recommend listening to this. It's good. I think it's their best album. It's their masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And that closes my 10 favourites from 1974. I said the idea is I'm going to throw my way off from the 70s eventually, but I can go back a bit now because we're in 74 and I've started with 74. Hope to do 71, 72 and 73 at some point. If you have any thoughts on it, put them in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care.